You won't believe the secrets hidden behind this blue letter. Clearly, there are secrets to keep. Roger had to rush Shepard away. What a laugh. Meanwhile, Poirot felt restless at the palace. His detective instincts were tingling. Big trouble was brewing. Shepard got a call from the butler claiming Roger had been murdered. Rushing to the mansion, he found the butler log puzzled. Roger just left, but is somehow back. What a hilarious mix-up. Roger was nowhere to be found in his study. Word, Shepard insisted on checking on his friend, but it was just crickets at the door. To make things worse, the door was locked. He grabbed a chair and smashed it open, only to find, Roger's definitely got a permanent vacation now. There was a dagger sticking out of his neck. Talk about bad luck. The local cops were taken aback. After all, we're talking about the local rich guy here. Law enforcement was on the scene faster than you can say murder mystery. After a thorough check, the police found some preliminary evidence. First, there was a clear footprint on the floor, and second, the murder weapon was Roger's prized antique dagger. Lastly, the study was untouched. No signs of a struggle. This was clearly more than just a random act of violence. So, the sheriff called everyone into the room and threw out two key questions, classic detective style. Who was the last to see Roger? And where was everyone during the incident? Meanwhile, Poirot was quietly observing, not uttering a word. Shepard was the first to speak, claiming he left at 9 p.m., while Roger stayed in the study. The secretary then added, stating that she had intended to report to her boss at past but unexpectedly heard a heated discussion outside the door at that time. At first, she thought it was Shepard, but upon hearing, "You've been asking for money too often," she realized it was someone else. Butler's testimony was even more suspicious. Around 10 p.m. he ran into Roger's niece while delivering drinks. She claimed Roger was asleep and not to bother him, a rather interesting remark, I'd say. Let's be real, Roger was single, but he certainly had company living in that mansion. His niece and her mother had turned the mansion into an all-you-can-eat buffet, totally unconcerned about jobs or savings. Soon after, Shepard received a mysterious call, rushed over with the butler, and discovered Roger had indeed kicked the bucket. So, the niece instantly became the prime suspect. Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time and getting unfairly suspected. When questioned by the police, she just vented her frustration, saying she said goodnight to her uncle and hit the hay. There's nothing unusual there. Considering she and her mother were literally living off Roger, how could she harm her own benefactor? With police now eyeing Roger's mistress, the plot thickened. What a twist. Rumor has it this playboy's finances were in the toilet, and he had only 2 words on his mind: cash. The secretary added that the mistress had a fierce spat with Roger recently, all fingers pointed. Yet, during this millionaire's tragic demise, the mistress went MIA. So frustrating. The niece sold out Poirot, not just to track down her uncle's killer, but also to clear the mistress' name with a tall order. Since they were already engaged, she was sure the mistress wasn't the killer. But the police had already pegged the mistress as the prime suspect. Talk about surprising. In her rented hotel room, police uncovered a trove of evidence linked to her. Among them a pair of shoes that matched the footprints at the crime scene. What a bombshell. But Poirot remained deep and thought there were still many unsolved mysteries. The footprints only indicated a mysterious person had been at the scene, but whether it was the mistress was still up for debate. So, he resolved to reassess the entire case and see if any additional clues emerged. What an exhilarating detective game this entire process was. The butler was first to tell Poirot that the chair had been moved from its original place. Curious. What's more surprising, one of the letters was missing that night. The blue letter, which had long disappeared, had Poirot's brow furrowed in deep thought. He connected the dots by analyzing the findings of Roger's last days. The culprit absolutely had to be someone familiar. Otherwise, why would they sit down for a cuppa? Clearly scared Roger would spill the beans to the cops. The secretary recalled seeing a shadow flicker past while she was smoking on the balcony around 10:30. Could that shadow be the killer? Now that's an exhilarating theory. So, Poirot headed to the backyard for his investigation, only to find a mess of indistinct footprints. What a headache. However, next to the gazebo, he found a torn piece of fabric, an odd find indeed. Even more astonishing, he found a ring in the pond marking the 4 chicken mothers. What a bizarre clue. When Poirot and the detective returned to the mansion to trace the ring's owner, they overheard a heated argument upstairs. Turns out, £40 cash had vanished from Roger's room. His wife accused the maid, but it was a real farce. Ending. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.